All right, here we are for page 8. This one is going to be pretty simple. Won't take as long as the other one. So we only need to cut 3 things for this one. We need an 8.5 by 9 1/4. We're going to score it a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 of an inch at the top because we need another gusset. These are going to be the 2 pockets that go on top of this page. So 9.5 across, 3.5 up and down, 9.5, 3.5. Score it a 1/2 inch on the left, the bottom, and the right. Left, bottom, right. We're going to attach those to the front. And then we need approximately 5 envelopes that are big enough for a recipe card to fit inside. All right. So here's my I've already done my score lines. I'm going to go ahead and fold them. That's my gusset line. That's my hinge line. For my pockets, I'm going to nip off those corners. Oh, there we go. Oh, for the love. Okay, go ahead and fold and burnish. Thought I lost it again. I found it inside the example book. I don't know how I did that. But it is unlike the time whenever we found my keys in the refrigerator. Another time we found them in a teacup in the cabinet. I don't know what I do sometimes when I'm alone. All right, so we have folded and burnished all of those. I'm going to first put my bottom one. It's going to go right across the bottom. So go ahead and spackle. So when my husband came in, I don't know if you could hear him or not, but he said, got a starving kitty out here. I am normally allergic to cats, but we have this yellow cat, orange, that a few winters ago, bottom corner to bottom corner, line up against the bottom. Few winters ago, whenever we had that nasty cold spell here, I mean, it was below freezing. It was below 0 for over a week. Our whole end of the cove completely froze over. It was just weird. Well, I noticed these little kitty cat tracks that went underneath our house. We have a small little opening. And I was trying to figure out what in the world, and then I thought, well, it's probably some cat that lives out here. My dad has several cats. Some of them live on the roof. We call them his roof cats. Again, I can't explain to you my family. We are bizarre people. We're going to go 4 1/4, right? We want to find our halfway mark again. So mark it here. Go over here. 4 1/4. Mark it here. That is where our next pocket is going to sit. So he has cats that live on his roof. He's got cats out back. He's just got cats. So I thought, well, it must be one of Dad's cats. But all of Dad's cats were accounted for. So this cat took up living underneath our house. We've never smelled anything. We started feeding because I was worried, even though I can't have him around me, that this poor cat was going to starve. So we gave it some dry food. once we thawed out from all of that nasty cold. Bottom corner, line up on the bottom with that line. He just continued living under the house. And now, it's been 2 or 3 years later, Mr. Kitty Kitty, as we call him, because he comes running when I call Kitty Kitty. Mr. Kitty Kitty has lived underneath our house for at least 3 winters. This would be the 3rd. And he gets fancy dinner twice a day. So, I keep a whole big stack of canned wet Friskies. And Mr. Kitty eats like a champ twice a day. And then in the other time, he goes over to my dad's and eats the dry cat food off the back with all the other cats. But I will tell you, we have had not one mouse in this house since Kitty Kitty started living underneath. So I figure he's earned his keep. All right, there's our pockets. We're going to be able to shove as many of these in here as we want. And so now we need our base page. There's our page 7. This is our base page, top, bottom, spine. And this is where we're going to add envelopes. Okay, so we do need to go ahead and cover this with pattern paper because this is going to go on top. And the one I think I'm going to use for this is going to be mostly covered up. Well, that's cute. Yeah, we're just going to do the flowers. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my pattern paper on here. I know it's 8.5 by 8.5. Again, I like to eyeball where I'm going to put it. So I want it about that far down. Eyeball it. I'm going to cut it here. And I will cut it right there. So, where's my bottom? There's my bottom mark. I can't put it in this way because this is made for 12 and this is 12.5 because of this. So I always cut the bottom first. All right, there's my line. It's going to end up being about 8.5 minus 2/8. Okay. I have a second trash can up here. It's my white one. It's where I put my pattern paper scraps. Okay. So this is going to fit right on here. What is that? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Oh, I probably should have taped this, but with that wide tape of mine. Slather it on. Okay. I don't think it has a top or a bottom. There. That looks pretty good. Okay. move it all down. Even if you're using tape, you want to do this. Make sure it all gets stuck down. All right, so this is my top. This is my bottom. I have 5 envelopes. They are 6.5-ish by 4 3/4. The first thing that I want to do, besides close up my glue, these all have a peel and stick. You want to go ahead and close them. Okay. We don't have anything in them yet, but you want to go ahead and close. Yeah, that's pretty sticky. Oh, I got glue all over my hands. So we're going to go ahead and glue or peel and stick these shut. Okay. These are all the back sides. And what I'm going to do with my paper cutter is we are going to take off just the top. So our recipe cards, well, actually, this is when we need to decide. I want my recipe card to kind of stick out the top. So if I have my recipe card in here, let's have it stuck out that far. So I am going to take this from 4 3/4 down to 3 3/8. Okay. 3 3/8 tall. So when I put my card in here, see that back part that we just peel and stick down? That way when I put my recipe card in here, I can see the recipe sticking out of it. I like that. All right, 3 3/8. So we're going to go ahead, cut them all. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. These are horrible envelopes. There is nothing straight about them. Square, whatever. 3 3/8. This one probably needs to be fixed. 3 oh my goodness. 3/8. There we go. Okay. So there's our 5 envelopes. The width we decided was about 6.5-ish. Our height is 3 3/8. We are going to have them stacked up. Let me fix that one wonky. There it goes. And what we're going to do here, I am going to go ahead and use tape. And we are going to tape 2 lines across the backs. Okay? So just watch me on the first one. We do not want it along the sides, and you'll see why in a second. So I am going to put it, that looks good. Hold on, and I will measure that. Okay. So it is approximately 1 3/4 inches from either side. Okay. So 1 3/4 inches would be right there. And there's 1 3/4 inches. It does not have to be exact, but we do want to be somewhat in the same area. 1 3/4 inches. 1 3/4. Handy dandy. And I am putting this on the side where it had the lip that came down, how we sealed it. Inch and 3/4. Inch and 3/4. Oh yeah, so Mr. Kitty was sitting on the porch. It was apparently time for his evening feed. He still has not, after all these years, I've not been able to even touch him. We do, though, when we feed him during the summer and in the fall, pretty much here in Oklahoma. Once a month, we feed him and we open up those little vials of flea and tick and we drop it on him as quickly as we can because he will run away. He'll hiss at you once and then he won't come back until you're gone to finish his food. But I don't want him to have ticks either. All right, so I'm just burnishing all those down. I'm going to make sure that I have all of my openings, my tops together. Okay, that opens, and that opens. And what we're getting ready to do is we're going to peel off this tape and we're going to stick all of these together. And it's going to make an accordion. So, oh, for the love of peanuts, there it is. If you have one of these, I don't know if you can see it, slightly bent the tip of this. And I use that to peel off tape with. Oh, don't be difficult. All right, so we are going to take this one. Line it up. Oh my goodness. Top. Line up that bottom corner. Line it up along the side. There we go. So this has the sticky. Do the same. Line it up. So once we get all these on here, it's going to open up like this, and you can put your recipe cards in here. So bottom corner. Oh, see what I almost did there? There's my top. Holy cow. Bottom corner, line it up on the side. Oh, snap. Peel. There's my top. Line it up as best you can. Stick it down. And there is our 5 accordion that we are going to be able to stick all of those cards in. This thing is going to hold so many freaking recipes. All right, so here's my page. Here's page 7, so I know this way's up. This is the top of page 8. I am going to put these right here. And I'm just now realizing that I should have put this down before I put the pattern paper down. So now I'm going to have that there, but that's just going to have to be how it is. So I'm going to line this up more towards the bottom because I am going to have that B up to the top. So I want this to be more towards the bottom. And then just like we did, you do not want this to be all stuck down. You just want these 2 parts. Okay. Stick, stick. Looks good enough. Press it down. And there. Ah, it's so fun. Let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm not worrying about magnets on this because I know, oh, you already put all that paper down. I'm not going to worry about magnets on this one because of the pockets on the front are going to be heavy enough to hold it down. Okay, and it's at the very back of our book. So I'm going to push that up. There's my gusset line. Here's my corner. Line it up. Have it go straight across the top. Push, 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 push. I can feel all those paper clips from page 7 down there. And then one thing that we can do, since I uglied this, we can ignore it. Or a lot of my paper comes with these little borders, and I will probably just take one and slap it up there. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to even it up with the side of my paper. I'm still going to leave that little space at the top, about the 1/8 that I like. Oh, isn't that handy? Push it down. There we go. Now I don't have that big ugly. Washi tape does the exact same thing. You could glue a piece of ribbon up there. All right. So we have recipe card, recipe card, recipe card. All right, so we've got this plumb full. You can put them in any way you want of our recipes. Then we're going to open it, and in here we're going to have even more. So this is an envelope accordion file, and you can put more than one in here. Whenever I did this for one of my niece's books, I made journaling cards, and so I had pattern paper on the front, and then I had a place on the back where you could put the picture. That way it wasn't just a picture sticking in here. But see, we can put as many in here as we want. And this is why we needed that gusset. So there's that. Isn't that cute? And there, my friends, is page 8. So we are done with the pages of our books. What we need to do now is I had just those 2 little parts. This little envelope and this little doodad. So we still need to do those. We need to do the inside back pocket. And it is just a big old pocket. I did make it to where this can come out so that you can put a bunch in there. And our front moving waterfall. But instead of putting these on here, I used recipe cards. So when you open it, you'll have the front of a recipe card and the back of it. So you can kind of go through there like that. You don't have to use recipe cards. You can just use regular paper. But the two bonus pieces will be in the next video. Then we'll do the inside front cover, then the inside back cover. And then we'll do the cover, spine, and hinges. All right. I will see you then. Bye.